The first time Caesar came to the prison, all the stars were waiting for the newcomer to report. One of the stars was enjoying the service, and suddenly stood up. Caesar took the initiative to throw the ball to him to show his friendship, but he threw it away. He is the boss rocket here, and his purpose is to make Caesar stand out, and let Caesar recognize who this is. The first thing you can do is to run. Run! The frightened Caesar quickly ran away, but before she could run, two Caesar were knocked down and jumped down to attack again. Fortunately, the manager shot the anesthetic in time. Caesar wanted to stand up and fight back, but the manager shot again, which stopped the fight. Then Caesar was taken back to the cage. When he opened his eyes, he saw a red-haired star whispering to him. This shocked Caesar. It turns out that Maurice learned sign language in the circus before. Caesar saw someone caring about him and was very happy. And the red-haired star Maurice also gave Caesar a reminder. Humans don't like too smart stars. The next day, Will came to see Caesar. To the Caesar was confused, and suddenly found a golden rod in the cage. He was shocked, and he climbed on the top of the cage to observe the outside world. The next day, the manager brought his friends to watch the stars. To make his friends happy, he pulled the stick to the dog's head and shook the stars. Caesar was the only one who reached out his finger and called the man. The man thought Caesar wanted to drink, but he was pinched in the throat. But with the manager's arrival, Caesar let go of the dog. Caesar watched the manager walk and slowly reached out her fist. So everything she did was for this knife. Then she tied the knife to the stick and slowly reached out the door. She locked the knife in, and with a snap, Caesar quietly climbed up. Using the same technique, she opened the door and then carefully awoke the Varger. And the long-awaited Varger mirror did not come out. Finally, under Caesar's influence, the Varger rushed out. She enjoyed the freedom of the Varger for a long time. He can only use physical objects as a barrier. Caesar becomes the boss of the stars. The next day, Will bribed the director of the hospital with a horse. Caesar jumped down with excitement, but when he saw the mask in Will's hand, Caesar seemed to have made up his mind, because he knew that only the unity of mankind can be unbounded by human. After Will left, all the stars began to support Caesar, and Caesar also recruited the rocket, let him send cookies to the stars to stabilize his position as the king. This behavior made the rocket completely subdued the rocket. That day in the zoo, two super-intelligent stars were discussing how to escape. Caesar told Mauricio that only the stars can unite to escape the cage. Mauricio said there were many stars that were too stupid. Caesar was thinking after he heard it. The manager next to him was about to go out by pressing the password. And Caesar just saw the password and remembered it in his heart. At the night, Caesar opened the iron door. He climbed up the passage, turned the handle and looked down the skylight. He climbed up the top of the bear in a second and crawled out, but to quietly return to his master's house. Carefully opened the fridge door and found the latest drug. This drug can make the star smarter. He deliberately went back to the prison and opened the drug. He threw the drug out and scattered it in front of many stars. Soon the drug filled the entire cage. The next day, the star that inhaled the gas woke up and was surprisingly quiet. Caesar silently watched all this. Then he came to the exit and carefully observed their eyes. But when Caesar organized the star meeting, she was seen by the dean next to her. After seeing the dean, Caesar was too busy to let the stars scatter. And that night, when the manager was feeding the stars, she found Caesar looking at herself outside the cage, and she walked out with an electric stick. At the same time, the sniper also ran to the high tower, ready to attack Caesar. No matter how the manager hit, he refused to leave this area, and the manager,
thinking far off me, you damn 38!
When Caesar's words shocked everyone on the scene, then Caesar punched the manager. No. Caesar picked up a water gun and started to shoot. As the water gun and the electric rod were fired, the man passed out. The label on the side of the room reminded Caesar of his companions in the lab, so he came to the yard and released the big Jaeger barrel. Then he led all the stars out of the window and escaped the cage. They came to the highway to observe. After saving his companions, he crossed the city and went to the Red Forest. Caesar divided the stars into two teams. One team was led by Caesar and the rocket to their building. He looked up and saw the stars that were already full of stars watching him. The stars of the group broke through the window and were about to meet the stars on the other side. The boss called for Fabole to kill them. At this moment, Caesar is leading the stars to the Red Forest, but he didn't expect that Fabole has arrived. Caesar orders the stars to climb up the building. When Fabole was dragging him to the car to take him away, suddenly a long-haired man ran through the roof. The long hair came to him after saving his partner. Caesar and his teammates quickly retreated. Seeing the vehicle in the middle of the road, Miles and Barker took up their weapons and threw a car out of the roof. Then Barker and his teammates gathered at the vehicle. At this moment, the four giants gathered. The stars were ready to cross the bridge to the Red Forest under the leadership of Caesar. But Fabole had already used the advantage of the view to deploy a large number of troops at the exit and deployed cavalry to support him, and after discussing with Miles, she decides to split up into three groups. One group is led by Cobra and moves up the bridge, while the other group is led by Miles and charges down. The remaining group is led by Caesar to fight the cavalry. She only sees the little elf, new home. Meanwhile, the other side, Cobra, has already climbed to the top of the bridge with the stars, but there is still a star exposed and being shot. Maurice, under the bridge, sees his partner being shot and falls to the ground. At this time, Will rushes in hastily. He orders the stars to overturn the bus and use it as a shield to push it in. The soldiers see the bus in the fog and shot it down. The stars blocked all the attacks with the bus. They were thinking about what they were doing. Caesar was in the fog with his horse. Caesar's orders were followed and the long-awaited Cobra descended from the sky. The stars under the bridge rushed to join the battle. A shocking battle was officially started. A rocket jumped into the car and blew up the guard, but it seemed to have sounded. Caesar's warning has not yet been sent to the killing. At the same time, Caesar is commanding the battlefield. As Bart pulled the man out and threw him into the sea, humans fled in fear. The stars also succeeded in winning the battle under Caesar's command. And Will finally arrived at this moment. He stopped the celebrating Caesar, but the helicopter appeared on a bridge not far away. Caesar's sword strike immediately struck the area. Caesar could only hide behind the car. But Caesar was not easy to be manipulated. She risked her life to protect the orc. As the chain flew out, the two orcs fell to the ground. But the driver didn't expect to pull out his gun. The 8-shot arrow quickly pushed Caesar away and took all the attacks. And the plane crashed into the bridge. I saw the people from tension. John Parker from facing a shot could see it wouldn't have shown the truth. The key to the book. I saw him with you to the base onto don't. That's the security of the hotel problem. I saw a lot of country to teach you so you don't send me to jump to Chicago. But could not assist you on so good with the and left the situation to Cobra. Cobra was injured in the lab. Caesar led the aliens to the Red Forest. Seeing them in the fog, Will ran to the police car. The police car was gone. Will went to the Red Forest to find Caesar, but was caught by Cobra. When Cobra wanted to hurt Vel, Caesar ran to the river to fight back. Cobra wanted to fight back. Caesar kicked Cobra's leg. Caesar pulled Vel up. Vel came here not only to apologize to Caesar, but also to invite Caesar home. Caesar knew the man in front of her had a great favor on her. Caesar pulled Vel. Vel was shocked when he heard Caesar's words. He knew he couldn't keep Caesar, so he let her go. Caesar sadly returned to the original race. All the stars bowed to her. Caesar became the leader. What kind of long-term vision will she have for the original race?